We were three teachers. One guy from Japan. He was cinematographer. He came with his film. Film was high-budget film. In the film, 1,000 people were dying. They were fighting, 1,000 horses, too much train, lighting, everything. 90 minutes fighting, 1,000 people were died, but even one reaction shot doesn't exist in the film. We asked the audience, do you like this film? They told not. The other film was from Taiwan. No budget film, no money in the film, only 3% in the house. The story was about a guy who has wife and servant. Wife went out and guy started to attack to the servant to rape her. We didn't see anything from sexy part. Only we could see reaction of the black lady that first shocked, and little by little she accepted, and then she enjoyed. One of the image was 20 minutes frame, 20 minutes one image, and everything, it is like one lady here, the image was from here, little by little tracking, and the guy was here. We couldn't see anything except the man was sitting, and then we could see the colors of the black girl. 20-minute reaction shot show us everything to us. Without seeing sexy part, we could see she afraid first, then she worried about herself, then little by little she changed her mind, then she started to enjoy and hide. It was reaction shot. No budget, no many people, not too much actor and actresses. It was not only because it was sexy shot, because we haven't seen anything. Or other film that you will see two parents, two man and his wife are fighting with each other. Instead of showing them, show the baby that look at the parents and worried and start to cry, or try to control herself to not cry because she worried. I call this concept reaction shot. For example, if someone is going to show me here in this class, it's not good to put camera here. It is information shot. Okay, 50 people are sitting, listening to him. After 2 minutes, you will lose your interest in this shot. If you shoot the man who is speaking with you, it is action shot. After 5 seconds, become boring. But if show you value of this scene related to your reaction. If you do, it is boring, like now. If you are interested, you give advice to audience to become interested. So, I can say we have 3 different shots: information or established shots to inform place, time, and everyone that are in the scene. Second, action shot. Third, reaction shot. Always the mistake of young filmmaker is they show us established shot and then action shot. It is in Bollywood is full of this wrong thing. Someone is dancing, the other people are dancing. Someone is shooting, the other one is shooting. But some of the Bollywood film that could show us some of other people that do react are more strong than the others. It's enough this concern, go to the other two.
I started seeing cinema through film societies.
Okay, one way is look at the film. What about other way?
Observing life. Observing life.
Observing life.
Okay, but how you could make film? Everyone observing life.
Assisting people.
Assisting people. Other directors is making film, you will assist him and you will learn. Okay, the third.
Of course, from your experience, reading books on cinema.
Reading books on cinema.
That is what you seem to have
Yeah.
done about.
Okay.
Trying out ourselves, as Werner Herzog said. Trying out ourselves, like Werner Herzog said. Shoot your film. Shoot your film. Shoot your film.
Shoot your film.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
film.
yeah.
This is the other one. Okay. And going to university to learn cinema as well. You know, going to university, reading book of cinema, shooting your film, look at to the other film as well. Which one of them is more important?
Watching cinema.
Enjoy
This is the Indian style.
Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Enjoying, okay, but how? Enjoying watching film, seeing film. In my country is different. Reading book is more important. Why? Because you look at the film and you enjoy, but you don't know how they made this film. In Iran, mostly we go to reading a book. I want to tell you how I learned cinema. When I was 17 years old, I went to prison, political prison. I was 4.5 years in prison. And before that, I was working in 13 different jobs as a poor job, you know, boy job in different shops. So I had too much experience and I got too much pain. And I had too much desire, you know. When I came out from prison, I was 22 years old. I had many things to tell to other people. Okay, I started to write a story first. Then I started to write script for cinema. Then I made film. First I had lot of things to tell. But I started to make film like a story writing, like photo roman. I didn't know anything about cinema, but I knew that cinema could be a storytelling. Okay, I started to use cinema like writing. Only I concentrate to my story. After making 3 films, I find out that one of my films was successful, could affect on the society. 2 others were not enough strong as much as first one. And I hear that the people criticize me that the first one was better than the second one in cinematic way. I asked myself, what is cinema? I start to learn cinema after making 3 films. I didn't go to a school, I didn't read book. Even on that time, when I start to make film, I hadn't seen many films because my grandmother told me in my childhood, if you go to cinema, God put you in the hell. So when I was in prison, I hadn't chance to see film. When I started to make film, I haven't seen many films, less than 50, maybe 13, 14 films. But I knew that how could I tell the story. But after 3 films, I thought, oh, it is not cinema, it is photo roman. So I started to teach myself. On that time, it was not good I go to the university because people would criticize me. Okay, after 3 films, you arrive in the university, it is so late. And also I had a diploma because I couldn't finish the school. You know, my university was prison, was experience in very hard job. So I gathering 400 books. I don't advise you read 400 books. But I gathering 400 books. I borrow from my friends, from the people that they were writing in the for the cinema. And 6 months, I sat in my home and I start to read. But how? You know, you will read book and you will forget that. I put paper on the earth because we sit on the earth. We don't use table too much. And I start to read first book. Okay, everything was interesting for me. I put in different paper, but in organized style. For example, one paper was belonging to the script writing, one paper for cinematography, one paper for directing actor and actresses, one paper for editing. It was different paper for different job and concept. For example, lighting. And after few days, I understood that cinema is script writing, story, acting, image, sound, rhythm, editing, and stuff. And then little by little, what is a story, suspense, and character. What is image, color, light, form, composition. What is sound, dialogue, effect, music. You know, I divided the paper to 3. For example, not only image, not only cinematography. The cinematography paper become more than one paper. For example, coloring, composition in the image, light in the image, movement of the image, you know, train, tracking, track back, zoom, and also equipment, lens in the image. You know, it was something like 100 different paper, but I was reading. And I choose some of good thing and I write in the main paper that belong to that concept. When I finished 400 books, I understood 90% of them repeating each other. On that time, I could advise to my friends, forget about 400 books, 10 of them is enough, because you could find good books, 10 books was enough, if you know which one is good. But my style was dividing different concepts to analyze the scene. Throughout this way, I could teach myself. And then, at the end, I summarize my rule for cinema. And it became one small notebook in my pocket. After that, when I made my film, everyone thought, oh, happened miracle. How much knowledge this guy has. It happened something from the sky. No, it was from the earth. I was reading a book. I analyze that and I summarize that. I suggest you, don't read book and forget. If you are going to read a book, please have a paper and analyze different concepts. After the book, if you have something like, okay, this is, the book is about, for example, lighting, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to mathematic way, summarize, and then teach to other people. If you are going to learn, teach to other people, then you will see the knowledge of your job is in your mind, because you have mathematics for that. If you read from now on till the end of your life and forget, it is like the beach hole. You will read and you will lose. You will read and you will lose. But if you have file like computer, I call this lesson filing, like way you will use in computer. You have file. For example, you take an image from your mother, and then you will put in one file, mother file. And then you will take image from your son, and you will put in another file. Okay, filing like computer have to be in your mind. This is the second. I learned cinema through a book, by analyzing, by concentrate to reading 6 months, analyze, summarize, teach to others, and I have a rule for knowledge of cinema. Okay, tell me, which one was more interesting for you? Reaction shot or file? For you, reaction shot was?
Reaction shot.
Reaction shot. For you, the same. The same. Reaction shot. Reaction shot. Third concept. Do you know Ford? Making car is very complicated. No one can make car. We need system. That's how many people could make one car. It is very complicated, but we don't have enough complicated people to make complicated products. For example, festival is very complicated work. How we could manage that? Making film is like making complicated art. How we could manage that? Ford thought that with 1,000 simple workers, we could do 1,000 simple things. 1,000 simple things could be complicated. You know, if you analyze the car, how many acts we need to make one car? For example, 1,000. One person like Charlie Chaplin in modern life could do like this. The other could do like this. The other could do something from here to there. The Ford analyzed that he needs 1,000 different simple jobs. Okay, in one day, he teach to small worker only one thing. You put this from here to here, and you will do like this, and you will do like this. 1,000 simple things made hard. I learned from Ford that I am simple guy, but I want to make very complicated film in different perspectives, as meaning, as lighting, as framing, as rhythm. I divided myself to different simple work. When I'm writing a script, one day, for example, writing a script for me, different job. I divided myself to 14 different simple worker for script writing. How? For example, finding subject. When I go to exhibition, especially throughout the photo in exhibition, you know, I could find the subject. Okay, today I am a simple worker, only I go to the exhibition to see which image could give me advice of the concept. Second day, I will go to the life, to the city, I listen to the people, I look at the atmosphere. On that day, I'm not writer. I'm simple worker that only observing. And at night I will write some notes. In third day, I will look at the film, for example. It's for finding the concept, live reading book. 1 week I'm only reader of the book to find some idea. And then when I find my concept from society, from the book, from one image, now I tell, okay, I should think about the story. What is the beginning? What is the middle? What is the end? Only I try to be simple worker to find beginning, middle, and the end of the story. Nothing more. Then one day I concentrate to create character, one character. Only I'm thinking about character. You know, after 1 month, each part of simple worker of me could create some simple thing. And then at the end, there is a character who add and mix everything together. In, for example, for decoupage, once I think about lighting from beginning till the end, if the film is complicated. The other time, only I'm thinking about all sentence and the moment, all moment by movement of camera. When you concentrate on one thing, like simple worker, then you are 100 different simple worker, and when you mix all of them, your film, your thought is complicated. It is not good if you say, okay, I'm thinking just now about the story and lighting and movement and acting. You could not control that because our mind could not concentrate on 100 different rule of cinema at the moment. I call this lesson make from yourself simple worker. Let's give you example. You are going to have festival next year, more organized than now. Okay, you should write how many activity you have. For example, bringing the guests from airport to hotel. This is one activity. You can choose 2 volunteers for bring the guests from airport to hotel. Okay, you have 100 guests. You could have 100 volunteers. Each one could guide one of the guests or one country's guest. You will divide. First you will analyze, then you will choose and share. And then you will see festival board like system because you have different people. But in making film, sometimes you are only one person. I divide myself with different characters. Today, I am a man who is searching the concept. Tomorrow, I am a man who is sitting in the home and only writing the note that I find last day. Next day, I am a man who is doing image, like photographer. If you are one person, divide yourself to different characters and then control like manager. It was the same. Okay. Between filing and fourth system, which one was more important for you? I'm asking which part is more interesting. Why? Make you do reaction. Class without reaction is like film without reaction shots. And also, I could control myself from your mind. And also, like sociologists, when I am teaching, I compare reaction of Indian and for example Korean, which part is more interest for Korea, which part is more interest to Afghanistan or Paris? And I can learn, and I can ask myself why this country is more interested to this subject, for example. This is exactly for the film. We need to sit to the theater and listen to the reaction of audience and learn from them. Making film is not for ourselves. Even you are independent filmmaker, you need the reaction of the audience. We make film for audience. We don't make film for ourselves. It is letter from you to the society. You should accept to listen the reaction of the society. Okay. Now I want you to show me your hand. Okay. The reaction shot. Who likes reaction shots? Show me your hand. Okay. I know 4 different styles for directing actor, not more. When you analyze, you know your knowledge is only 4. You know, you could not say, I know many things, 1,000 way of directing. No, I know only 4. Why? Because I analyze that. And I know there is only 4 ways. How many rules do you have when you are searching for location? When I finished 400 books, I had only 17 rules for the location. When I was searching for the location, only I remembered 70 rules and I forget other things. Because my mind could not think about 1,000 things. Today I'm searching for location. Okay, I am thinking about the rule that the few rules that I have for location. For example, on that time, we need electricity. When I was searching for the location, I was mentioned that is it electricity here around ourselves? But nowadays you don't need it. Or real extra people, because I knew that bring extra people from far to the location and try to find dress is more expensive and we could not handle it, for example. Or the season part. You could not go to the location in winter that the weather is something else and the tree has not leaf, and then in summer you shoot. It is completely different. In the rule of the searching location was...
Can you give the example with your film Cyclist?
Yeah, for example, for the Cyclist, the government told me you should not make this film in Iran. You should say this is another country. We don't have poverty like this. So I went to Pakistan. I got an image. I tried to decorate a part, But I'm talking about something else, for example. You are in here, the weather is very good. Now I could handle this weather. 3 months later, I will come with crew and the weather is so hot. And we could not handle that. And we could not handle our film enough good because we forget about the season. I mean the rule. When I finished 400 rules, I had around 150 rules only. Believe me, the rule of cinema is not million. It is 100, 200, maximum 1,000. But all the book repeating each other. If you have filing, sometimes you don't need to read too much other books because they are repeating the thing that you already learned. But you forget, again you will learn, again you will forget. How much time do you have to spend for learning and forgetting? Learning and forgetting. If you have file here, you will put in file. and 1, 2, 3. I know for dress, 1, 2, 3. That's enough. When I'm looking in the image, I say, how many rules do we have for composition? 20. The best cinematographer of Iran told me, Mohsen, really believe me, there is only around 20 rules that I care about that. I am the best cinematographer of Iran. But only I care about 20 rules. But people goes to the university, they spend 4 years. When they come, their head is like this, but they don't know 10 rules. Forget about too much talk, fighting. Believe me, I teach myself first filing, second, fourth system. The other subject. How many ways? The simple way, especially for professional actor, is information way. Introducing everything to them. For example, I say, you should come from the door and then try to have water in the glass and then drink it. I will describe, he will do that. When you don't have too much emotion, you don't need emotion, only movement, someone knocks the door. Please knock the door. Okay, camera, action, knock the door. He knocks the door. It is simple way first, but it is not enough. We have a time that we need emotion, crazy act. You could not say, you are coming here and then suddenly you become angry and then you will commit suicide. And you will cry and then you will laugh and then we will look at and it is artificial. It's not enough to describe. But first way is describe, inform, especially professional. The second way is copy, especially for the children. You know how children, baby learn, they copy their mother. Still, till the age of 10, they need to copy. We have a lot of experience working with children. For example, you ask children to come and fall down. She could not. We fall down in the way that we need and she copies us. Especially for the children is good. Don't forget please, if you tell to the professional, copy me, they become angry. Don't use this second style for professional one. For children, copying is good. Sometimes you will introduce, for example, I will say, come here. Maybe the actor come like this. You will describe, no, more fast. You will come like this. After 3, 4 times, you felt it's better to show. You say no. You will come and then you will run and then little slow and then again you feel if you show something is more understandable than describing. This is the simple way as well. The third way, tell me what is this?
How much of the story do you
I will tell you later. Really, we don't give the script most of the times, even to the main actor, because the result would be artificial. If they know everything from beginning, because we work mostly with non-professional actors and actresses. I will let you know, we talk more about this after. Okay, this is the second. What about the third style? Give me advice. Technical way. Technical way, all cinema has technical way. For example, Alfred Hitchcock use lighting to show fear of the actor. He doesn't need someone worried or fear, show fear. We put darkness and light, and as actor comes from the light a little to the dark one, and then the audience felt she afraid, she has faith. Or by editing, all of you knows about the test of the Russian guy who shoot one frame 20 minutes from a guy who has no any emotion, and he asked about him from audience, what is his emotion? Everyone told nothing. He has no emotion. Only 20 seconds observing without emotion. And then he divided this shot two parts and put people that they were crying in graveyard.
Good show.
Yeah, and then asked what is his emotion. They told he's sad because he's observing the graveyard. Maybe he lose some of his family. And then he put out the frame between and put another one. For example, two children playing and they are happy. And ask audience what is his emotion. They answer, he's happy. Maybe he reminds some nostalgic thing. But the frame was the same. It is technical thing that we always use in editing or by lighting, by makeup. You are going to show someone didn't eat 1 week. This is artificial. You need to show something by. There is a guy who is photographer in the war between Iran and Iraq, and by explosion bomb, he become crazy man. When happened something very simple, he felt the explosion and he do very big reaction. I use his actor to show his craziness by movement of camera and makeup. There is a scene that the guy who is sitting on wheelchair, he couldn't walk, and his girlfriend displayed the pomegranate in the bowl. And suddenly, bowl of pomegranate falling down, and exactly in the same place, explosion will happen. Before explosion, several times I track in on his face and then cut to his point of view, the girlfriend. Each time I change makeup. In 7 times. First, he is normal. Second, he is a little and his eyes is more red. Little, you could not feel that immediately. And then a little like crazy. We paint him like crazy, but in 7 times. The scene is 1 minute. 30 seconds goes to the girlfriend. 30 seconds goes to this guy, but in 7 cuts. We change makeup. In the 7th step, you will see his craziness painting his face. In the Cyclist, 7 makeup, because the film happened in 7 days. First, I choose one guy who was like Afghan people, and then we try to show him more cool by, using his birds like this, and then day by day we change him more teen and more like Jesus Christ in 7 different styles. It is not only acting. Okay, by light you could have technical. In comedy, the light is more light, bright. In action or in film like Hitchcock, darkness affect on the film. You don't need to show someone is afraid something. If you put darkness on the scene and show scene on the night, and then some of the light is, more bright and some part is more dark, the audience felt fake. It is technical way of acting. You don't need to say, okay, afraid, have a faith. No, light does help you. Also makeup, also dress, also cutting, also movement of camera. For example, when everything is silent, suddenly camera start to move. Or you will choose for someone only. When he observe, the camera has a little movement. After a while, audience felt, okay, this is his point of view. And it is sort of act. That's affect on audience like act. Or, for example, when we make comedy, in a state of 24 frames, we use 22 frames per second. And someone is moving more fast than the others. Everything is real. But when we show someone that he is more comic, we use 22 frames. And the result would be he is a little comic, but nobody knows what is the reason. Or we have a guy who is in Harriet, and we have a guy who is stupid, not smart guy. 1 second unsync the sound back. He's talking and you hear 1 frame back sound. You felt this guy is lazy, not enough smart. The other guy, 1 frame, his sound comes forward. When you edit the audience could not understand 2 second difference. But you felt he's more active, he's not. But this is technical way of directing. If I had time, I could show you a lot of image of my film to let you know how much act comes out from the technical way.
You won't identify that actually. This is a simple technique when you edit. It is like, always, you can sync the lip movement sound, the sound of the man and the lip, the scene. Now, if you keep this sound, now in the non-linear, you have 2 layers. 1 layer will be image and the other layer will be sound. Now, the same frame, you are keeping the sound. But now you keep 1 frame, not much. 1 frame, you just later. So what you will do it, if it is like, this is image, you keep the sound supposed to come here, the sound will come here. Now, it will become a little slow. It will come. Now, the other guy, you made, this is sound and this has to come here. You keep 1 frame up. So it will come, before you opens, it will be a little faster. So it will not be noticeable very fast because it is only 1 frame, but it will have an effect. Cinema has that power.
Yeah, this is only example. You could find in the book of cinema many examples, but the number of the style is technical. If you know cinema, if you have enough experience, you will find many ways for different things. For example, when you want someone is not enough stable, first you ask him, okay, run around the scene and do like this, and he has a little war in this act, and ask him to start to act. And you felt something comes out, because after 1 minute of running, you felt the water comes out from the body. You will see in front of camera. You need to ask him run. And he has shy. they start to talk. After you will shoot. After 1 minute, you feel, oh, it has shy and it become red and something comes out really from their skin out. It is technical way. It is not act from the actor. It is technical way of directing. Or using butter on the face, or using the dust and wind, and even someone is talking and the dust and wind is blowing and the rest is moving. If you do it, this guy do it the same act in the frame that the wind is not blowing, the result would be completely different. So we need winds, we need dust, we need men. You need many things like technical way to show real things. This is technical. Sometimes actor is like paper. They need fan to move it. For example, when someone is talking here, is not interested. When he is in the car and background change, you will hear and you will look at the background as well, and the frame become more interesting. If you put me here and shoot me by your camera, instead of I talk to you when I'm sitting in the boat in Aleppo, my act is more interesting, not because of me, because of background. You fell out how beautiful is talking. No, this is not me. The Aleppo is beautiful, but Aleppo will add to my dialogue. So you need to think about technical way, or color, for example. The light affect on the color, and color affect on your face. If someone is normal and suddenly he become angry, if he wear red thing under his coat, when he become angry, he wear off his coat, and effect of light on his red shirt, on his face, show you he is angry. But he is not, it's technical. Okay, this is the same. But the more important one that Iranian cinema love this way is the other way, evoking act. Evoking act. Evoking act, which means you will do something and you are waiting for some reaction. In the real life, what do we have? I scream on you and you become sad. I say something to you, you have shame. We play with them, especially with children. If you look at the behind the scene of Samira's board in two-legged horse, she will play with them, like baby are playing with each other. In this way, we don't give a script to the actor and actresses. First, tell me, first way, second way, third way, which one you prefer? You. You, which one? Technical. Which one? Third, technical. But you need to use first and second as well. Combination of first and second and third. But when you are making film, which way you use mostly?
I usually use the technical way
Technical.
to convey these things.
Hitchcock way was technical way. But have you seen The Apple by Samira? It is not by technical way. You know, it is by form, the next slide that I mentioned. Okay, you, which one?
It should be a mix of everything.
Mix up. You, which one? Which way?
So the combination of three, we already discussed the three factors.
Three. But okay, when you make film, how much you use first style, how much you use second style, how much you use third style?
According to the artist and the situation, if it is professional, we go for the first. If it is for a child artist, we go for the second. If it is not possible for the group, we will go for the third option.
Okay, let's talk about when someone is running after someone else. For example, police is going to catch the running 5-second police is running after him, and then 4, 3, 2, 1, and then catch him. If you are going to continue, you should lose this guy for a moment, and then again 5, 4. It is not you fell out. They are very close to reach to each other. I think they are not. He's in this frame, he's in this frame. You will use the timing. Timing would show you, oh, the situation is danger. Or for example, someone is dying. We use a slow motion. Why? Because when the situation is hard, time becomes more long. When you are happy, you say, oh, 1 month went like 1 day. But when you have trouble, you say, oh, 1 minute was for me like 1 life. In cinema, we show like this. Sometimes we show 1 minute, in the cinema 5 minutes. This is technical way of acting. The actor only exists in the frame. He doesn't do anything except being in the frame. But the timing is the technical way. The last way, before last way, tell me, which concept was good for you? Reaction shot, filing, fourth system, or fourth way of directing? Which one for you? For you.
Okay, see.
The last one?
I have no much about the technique.
Okay. The question is, I talk about 4 different things. Reaction shot, filing, fourth system, and directing. 4 way of directing. Which one was more interest for you between 4? Okay, and you love him. He is hero for you. Okay, we are going to show the reaction. If we start acting from the 0 point, it means you are observing like this without emotion. And then when I say you should die, and okay, what is the reaction? It is, oh, first was 0, act, and then it's 100, like this in Bollywood film. You know, you will see so many, wow. It is not good. We can go to the vice versa. How? First, you are interested, and you will show the too much act, for example, chewing gum, and then doing something, or you are interested, and then I thought you should die, you become silent, 0 act. In Bollywood way, the act is start from 0 act to 100. But it's better, usually, the uncommon act would be high, important part, high. For example, I'm interested, for example, love. The girl is coming and the boy is doing nothing. And then, like this. No, you can show he become lover by don't looking at her. It's more effective. Vice versa, you can think about it. For example, mother is worried about his son. He's almost dying. She's crying and she's screaming, and then when doctor informed her, your son unfortunately died, the mother becomes silent and laugh, like happy here. And audience says she becomes crazy because she acts vice versa. But always you will see, oh, the mother says, oh my God, I lost my children. It is cliche and start from 0 to 10. It is technical. Even the actor, maybe they don't know what is the script. You ask lady, look at here to my hand. Okay, now cry. Oh, now stop crying, laugh. And then in editing, you say, she is mother, she looked at to her son, and she was almost dying, and she died. Maybe she doesn't know anything about that. Even one dialogue, but you can show this sort of art. In realistic way of making film, we don't give a script to the actor and actress. Okay, how they act. They trust us. We say, okay, today we want you 8 hours. First, come and drink a glass of water and greeting to the audience. Like life. When you arrive here, are you waiting for me to ask some question? You don't know. So when I ask, okay, you, stand up. Please stand up. She will stand up. She was not waiting. So she felt up. I have to stand up. It is example. If someone could show her face, many things fresh comes out because she doesn't know. Like you. If I show her his face, it's different by he prepare himself to, okay. You will find artificial things. So first, we don't give a script. Most of the time, we don't give a script. Even we don't tell everything about one shot. For example, someone is coming to greeting him. He doesn't know he's going to clap. If he knows, he's ready to do that. You know, we asked him when he told, oh, Mr. Ravindar, how are you? You shut up. And you will see the fresh thing. And he doesn't know. We ask him, everything happened, you hug him. And we say, you slap him. And then if happened wrong thing, we change something. We don't repeat everything exactly. We need something new for each moment of the film. We say this kind of directing, you know, the actor have to be in the scene like live. We don't know what could happen. Maybe suddenly one bomb explosion, and we do react really. So we try to manage everything in real stuff. For example, we need someone to cry. If you say, okay, come and sit here and start to cry, if he is professional, he could do that. But always you know that it is not enough fresh. You see he used some technique, you will see he starts even from his skin. We need to help him. Take technical way is the water of onion or something, but it is not good. Okay, we try to understand which music affect on the actor, which memory, if suddenly we say, do you remember the time that your mother died? We should find many things in before shooting. And also we do many things in the shooting. Evoking. For example, I made a film called A Moment of Innocence. The story is about me and a police car. When I was 17 years old, I attacked the police to have his gun. He shot me. I put knife. We were fighting. I was in prison. 20 years later, I announced that I'm going to make film. The police came to be in the film. 20 years back, we were fighting in real life. But 20 years later, again we are face to face. And he was going to act in my film. And I thought, why we don't make that story? You are director, I am director, you have camera, I have camera. Okay, let's go cast our youth. I cast a guy who was 17 years old, who cast a guy who was 20 years old. And we try to direct our youth to fight with each other, like 20 years ago.
You respect awesome.
No, I will tell you. This is the moment of innocence. Okay, my youth should try. This is the moment that he have to use knife to put the body of the police. But we need to regret. He's not going to do that. And suddenly he changed his mind and start to cry. I need real cry. I was waiting for something, and suddenly his father told his grandmother died. We need him for graveyard. I thought, okay, the scene will change, we will shoot this. Don't let him know. We practice movement, we should stay here, everything, and the tracking, everything was clear, and then I thought, you act this moment, and in other way, your grandmother is died. After that, you go to grave. If you have tried, you can do it for some time. We use something from life, and then you will see the guy is coming to put knife, and then suddenly, I don't want to put knife in the body of the other people, and he start to cry. And I arrived, my voice arrived from behind the camera. Why? And he doesn't know. I want to have question. The actor knows a part of the scene. The other actor knows about the other part. And suddenly we advise something in the shooting. For example, no, stop fighting. Try to show your regret. And they start to think and change themselves. Again, we ask them, you should fight. If we gave them a script, they already know about everything. Everything becomes artificial because, before act and movement, you will see something comes out from their thought, and the audience will see something is in their thought, then in their mouth, then in their body movement. So this is the main way of directing for non-professional actor and actresses. But we try to have a good cast. The more important part for this kind of directing is good casting. Marzieh wrote a script, Buddha Colapse of Shame. Anna made a film on that script. all children of the school of Bamiyan city were casting to find one small kid girl. No. You need energy and innocence. How you could cast. It's not enough face and image. We cast soul of the country. You should take your time, spend the time to have a good casting. And really believe me, for example, in Tajikistan, the people are not so good for cinema. In Afghanistan, they are so good for cinema. I don't know why. Samira told me I don't like make film in this country because, you know, they are so kind and they don't show their emotions immediately. I could not control them. But in Afghanistan, if you use each person is good for cinema. I don't know, maybe it is because of their pain, because of the tragedy of the nation. So, nation by nation,